This podcast contains an English accent that most of our Irish listeners will find offensive. Also, there may be some colourful language that you're going to find less offensive. Now, over to Ryan and Leon. Enjoy the podcast.
This is Ryan.
This is Leon.
How's everyone getting on?
What's the fucking story?
This week's going to be a bit different, actually. We've been... Our Agony Aunt has been busy in the last 20 episodes.
She has.
Fixing problems, solving issues, being your guiding light.
Real world issues.
Yeah, from cock problems to how to get over the hangover of a stag do.
Oh, God. Awful.
And covering all bits in between.
All bits in between.
And bits in between your legs.
So
we wanted to collect all of our Agony Aunt's work and give you them in a beautiful little special episode.
Yeah.
And we're hoping this is going to drive a bit more attention to the Agony Aunt because we are gagging for problems.
Give us your problems.
Give us your
She'll
issues.
solve them. Because she will.
Oh, she's waiting.
She's pulling a blinder. She's there. She's got itchy thumbs. She's ready to reach in to the bollocks of life and, you know, give it a twist and pull out some lovely poems.
Yeah. So if you listen to this and you're like, oh, I think a poem could help me out here, you've got a few options. You can either email us your Agony Aunt problem to thepoetrysdeadpodcast@gmail.com. If you are feeling a little less brave and you'd like to do it anonymously, there is a link in our link tree. So if you go to Instagram, click our link tree, you'll have a couple of links there and our Agony Aunt Anonymous NGL platforms there where you can send us a problem and we will never know who you are.
No matter how embarrassing it is.
Yeah, make it embarrassing.
Have you got gout?
Give us a shout.
Give us a shout. Yes. So she will solve it. There's no problem she can't solve.
No.
You could be on our next episode with your wonderful problem that we're going to fix through the Agony Aunt.
So enough from us.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Away we go.
You enjoy.
Go on. Enjoy it.
But Leo, you've written something original.
I have.
You've been
listened.
inspired.
I have listened. I have looked into the wells of despair, and I have.
You've gone into the balls of tragedy.
And I've climbed.
Spurt it out.
I've climbed the shaft of hope, and I have come out victorious with a poem in my hand that is to help our poor listener, wherever they may be. So this poem is more about the dilemma that this person is in and overcoming that dilemma and seeking relief. So this is called The Clinic.
The Clinic. Brilliant.
So I'll begin. I sit in the clinic, waiting for an appointment, dreaming of creams, salves, oils, or an ointment. See, I have a little issue that I like to keep low key. Should have used the tissue, but instead I went out on a spree. And now I have a bit of trouble with the old bratwurst and beans. So I hide in the guide clinic and pray for relief, 'cause that pharmacy stuff, well, it just gave me more grief. So I wait for a ticket, and then I can be on my way. And into uncharted territory never again I shall stray. Oh no. I'll be like a monk from now on. The epitome of pure. Once this sweet nurse provides you with the necessary cure, I'll never be a baddie, forever only a goodie. And if temptation ever presents itself, I'll ensure to bring my new latex hoodie. So, Agony Aunt.
Yeah, we got an Agony Aunt message in. And perfectly, it wasn't much, but there's a lot to uncover from it. And the message was too many emails. Too many emails. There's a lot to it. When I told you that was what we're going to be talking about, what did you think?
I know exactly what that person's going through.
Okay.
Because I always feel now that I'm just fucking bombarded with email. I think as well, like when you work, you know, like I do a lot of freelance work, and you feel like you're almost obliged to reply immediately because you're like, oh, fucking don't do it now. They might pick somebody else. So
unless you're trying to contribute or send something in for submission where you hear something back 6 months later.
Yeah. Yeah.
The amount of emails I get rejecting my work that I forgot even what I sent. They're the only people that don't feel obliged to send you an email straight away.
Then people live in a different fucking plane of existence.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but bombarded, and I definitely feel like zonked a lot of the time because I do feel like just bombarded with like stuff to do, like messages, WhatsApp, bloody TikTok videos, Instagram. All my eyes are turning to square, man. Like,
you feel like
good.
Afterwards you just feel exhausted because you've just spent the whole day staring at this fucking device that's just constantly giving you things to do, and you're like, you're never going to finish them. So I know with email is now, I'm trying to like, restrict how, I'll mark it as important and I'll leave it till tomorrow. I don't need to fucking send the school some email at 11 o'clock at night because there's nobody fucking there. So, wait till tomorrow and just do it that way. So I have gone back to the laboratory.
Your favourite place?
I've gone back to the laboratory, and I was rustling through the petri dishes and the beakers, and I got out my Bunsen burner and diffused some emails and came out with a poem.
Beautiful.
Very simply named Email. And I love how you never hear these poems before I read them. I'm recording them.
You're getting live action.
A live reaction, yeah.
Same as you chucking me that James Joyce poem about farts. What is going on here? This isn't him. You've written this.
This isn't James Joyce. This is a bit more kind of, refined, I suppose, than, farting and stuff like that. But this is the poem that I've come out with from the laboratory called Email. This has to stop. It's spiraled out of control and needs the chop. I used to only check them sitting on the pot, but now they're never ending and I think I'm beginning to lose the plot. That dreaded word. Like a chalkboard overrun with nails, a ping and red banner, another fucking email. Start off easy, 1 or 2 a day, easy peasy. Now my phone is hopping more than Pam Beasley's. Office reference. It's mostly for work, but sometimes it's personal, promotional or social. They just won't disperse, and all I seem to do is clean my inbox for space, but it's still becoming overrun and I just can't keep up with this pace. I've even set up an out of office just to give me a breather. But I think at this stage I'll need to hire a professional reader. Because once I'm back in the ring, the pings hit me like punches and I'm back dipping and diving invites to work brunches. Kind regards, yours sincerely. My head's fucked truly and dearly. All the best. Me life's a mess. I've deleted me email because I'm in dire need of a rest.
Same. Agony Aunt. We've got an Agony Aunt sent in, and we got it today. And I'm interested to see what you think about this. So the Agony Aunt message that came in was, how do I commit to routine in my life? Interesting.
How do I commit to routine?
That when I first read that, I was like, this is coming from someone who is not trusting of routines, like motives.
Yeah.
He's untrusting of routine. Like routine is like a dodgy fella in the corner, trying to get him to do things that he doesn't want to do.
I changed my laboratory for a workshop. So I was down banging chisels, greasing chainsaws.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of drilling. And I've metal worked my way into a poem.
Amazing.
It's called Routine.
Nice.
And it's more of people trying to get a routine for better habits, to be a better version. And we're talking about the gym, we're talking about, that kind of feeling better. So somebody who's kind of a bit lost and is looking for more routine but doesn't really know how. So this is from the workshop. Routine. I feel a bit lost and a bit out of place. Like I'm running in circles at an outrageous pace, have bigger black bags than a bin man taking up space as if they're scooping up real estate on the monopoly board that is my face. definitely in need of a change and a bit of routine. Throw away the takeaways and eat cleaner than Listerine. But old habits die hard. And I'm not sure what to do. Seems every prick is running 10Ks now and I can barely tie my shoes. But how do you eat an elephant? I suppose one bite at a time. So I'll make small little changes day by day and everything will work out just fine.
The Agony Aunt. The Agony Aunt, the Agony Aunt. So last week we had something that was about routine and, you know, keeping your... it was actually just make sure you eat.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Bring snacks to cultural events.
Yeah, which is important. This is probably equally as important, but on a bit of a deeper level. So the Agony Aunt we got was, how do you know that you're on the right path?
It's a deep question.
Isn't it? How do you know that you're on the right path? When we got that, did it trigger you in any way of like thinking about your own path?
Yeah. So before I was performing and writing poetry, I was writing to some degree. I was writing diary entries and I was writing short stories. But there was a period where I didn't write anything. And I'd always get this like niggling feeling at the back of my mind. And it's like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I'd look at people that weren't involved in the arts or creativity, or like just weren't creative people, and I'd be like, how are they able to go around without like just being normal? And for some reason, I don't know what it was, and then I realised that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't, like, I fell into poetry by accident essentially, but once I started doing it and started really enjoying it and doing it for me, not just, you know, you're not doing it, obviously it's great to hear people say they enjoyed your work, but just to kind of get stuff out of your head and put it on the page, when that started happening on a consistent basis, that niggling feeling went away. That's
really key. Like, if you've got something niggling at you, you're always going to feel just under your potential, aren't you? Or not even just under your potential, but your potential great life that you're considering, which probably is where this question came from, is going to be sitting just away from you because you're not listening to your soul, perhaps, and you're not taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
I feel like that's quite important. Taking yourself seriously will help you get to a stage of, like we say, pride comes before a fall. I 100% agree with that. But being able to present yourself as someone you like, for one, and someone that you find quite, someone you'd like to know, is quite key in being generally quite content in what you are trying to achieve from the 80, 90 years that we've got. I feel like my life turned from being quite like fun and frivolous and quite like, I think I've been chasing anecdotes for a lot of my life, and there are people that would have met me 10 years ago and fucking, he's a mad bastard, he was. Yeah. To someone who takes pride in caring for his friends, the work that he's doing, wants to help other people, and it's not always now about me, and I think that's quite key as well. You've got to somehow bring your ego out of your own story, because if you're just looking in the mirror all the time going, who are you? Where do you need to be? It's a long days ahead. Yeah.
But there's also the opposite end of the spectrum as well, is that don't let anybody put you in a box and say that, like, say for instance, poetry is not for you. Who the fuck? There's no gatekeeper. There's no one that tells you you're not a poet, you're not you're not poetry.
But it could be anything, man. Like any industry, like any whether it's creative or not creative, artistic or not. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You know.
Exactly.
So no doors run shut. I wrote a poem that I think works quite well with the question. Now, I think on the flip side of that conversation, I don't think life is something that we should be so obsessed about milestones and successes and goals. Like, you should have things that you want to achieve, but also show up in the world for people. And like, what makes life worth living is not the attainment of goals. A lot of the time it is, I know this sounds quite cliche, but it's about the way. It's the way you get there.
It's the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, I know that sounds a bit like hallmarky, but it's true. I just genuinely think it's true.
So where did you go to write this poem? Because I've been to the forge to see the blacksmith, I've been to the laboratory, and I've been to the shed, to the workshop.
Where did I go?
Where would you have gone?
I went to the upstairs of a pub where I watch people cross a finish line and judge them. Going, you know what? Doesn't even matter. I wrote a poem. I'll read it to you. This one is called "The End," and it's about like having more than milestones. The end. Finishing a book, completing a game, got an A in that course. The results in a frame. Closing that deal, winning that race, saying you finally went to that place. Dropped a dress size, bought a flat at the time. You don't think you'd forget any of that. But life's not a hook to hang the things on that you did. It's who you met, what you learned, the way you loved, and how you helped. Those are the points life scores before it closes the lid. The Agony Aunt. It feels good that we're back in the light, because last week's Agony Aunt, although it was a great share about like how do you know we're on the right path, kind of feels good to get a bit light on this now.
Although we're dealing with a dilemma.
We are dealing a huge dilemma. So, dear Agony Aunt, there are two colleagues in work that don't get on at all. I get on with both of them, but there is friction because I think they're both trying to sway my opinion of the other. Send help.
So,
office politics.
I've been to the corporate observatory to stargaze at some lunar eclipses.
Yeah.
And I've written down some notes on my findings of cosmology. And I've come out with a poem from my stargazing.
Yeah.
It's called Woes at Work.
Woes at work.
I've had an accident at work, which I'm not sure how to fix. See, I have an assortment of colleagues like a big bag of pick and mix. They each have their temperaments, opinions and personalities, and sometimes they clash, which leaves me in between. See, my predicament is that I let it slip to Mark that I'm friends with Brenda, and he said, Jesus, how could you be friends with her? Then he went on a rant about how she's a tramp, and last week he reckons she shredded his stamp collection. I don't know why you keep it in the office. And then last Tuesday, whilst over the coffee, Brenda walked past us laughing over banoffee. Myself and Mark both have sweet tooths. See, I kind of knew they didn't get on, but didn't pay it any mind. But now they're trying to steer me from each other, and they're not being very kind. Why would you be with them? That one's a tick. The smell of their breath makes me bloody feel sick. So I'm like Malcolm in the middle, caught between a rock and a hard place, and I'm trying to stay friends with both, but their carry-on is disgraceful. I guess I'll need to sit down with them both and tell them they'll have to play nice, because if they keep up this carry-on, they'll have to pay the price. See, I won't be there, mate. So long, Brenda and Mark. I'll be in the lunchroom with Bill, because he's just fucking great. None of this nonsense. All smiles and carefree, while the other two Egypts will be stuck without me. Our Agony Aunt.
Yeah. So speaking about words that change momentum, so we got an Agony Aunt problem in, and it's a great talking point. It's a great talking point. The Agony Aunt problem was, how can I fall in love without re-downloading the apps? Oh, this is perfect pub talk, isn't it? This is like the definitive pub chat debate.
Oh, it is.
The value of dating apps, the problems of dating apps, the kind of horror stories that people have of people that they've met on dating apps.
So I've been to the brewery.
You have?
I've been to the brewery.
You've already gone down and mixed us something up
to see the Agony Aunt. To see she's gotten a trade in brewing beer.
Yeah.
So I went down to sample her wares, and she gave me a taste of a poem.
Nice. Okay, good.
So, this is me poem. So I'm back. On the hunt, on the game, on a quest, like some silverback gorilla beating his big old horny chest. As Elton wrote, the bitch is back, and I'm just getting started. It's been exactly 13 days, 6 hours, 17 minutes and 9 seconds since my missus departed, but fuck it, I'm single, like the last salt and vinegar Pringle. Gonna jingle more bells than that old fat fuck Chris Kringle, because I have something new that didn't exist here last time. Now I can download an app and chat to other singles while getting pissed at home on wine. Gonna tip on Tinder, burst onto Bumble, stumble onto Hinge, and emerge the new king of the dating jungle. With all my might, I'll swipe left and swipe right like a windshield wiper, and when I have 40 people to chat to, I'll go out all night hitting targets like a fucking sniper. But you know, it isn't what it seems. More artificial and superficial now. I'm not looking for the woman of my dreams, just a bit of fun, mind you, but I've been ghosted by hundreds, left on red here by thousands. I can't even get a like and left here with no funds also. Why does nobody look like their profile picture? I thought I was going out with Barbie, but got Shrek's ugly sister now, I'll be honest. I did throw a filter on mine, sucked in the gut and used a photo from my prime, but hours on apps, talking to strangers online. I didn't think it'd be so bloody difficult, and they suggested I use Grindr next time.
The Agony Aunt is back. We've left her stewing. I think the last time we heard from her, was she in the brewery?
Do you know what? I actually said to her, I goes, look, I'm going to need a poem. And she said, look, this is a very serious topic. It
is a very serious topic. So we got an Agony Aunt and the topic is questioning my writing makes me question my validation of my feelings. Makes sense. And it you should see the notes on my phone.
Yeah.
Of me just writing down, like in the third person, like, Ryan, this is what happened to you today. And then me reading it again, going, yeah, that's nonsense. And then just moving on with my life.
I said to the Agony Aunt, I'm going to need a poem for this. This is going to be a serious poem. And she said, you know what? Meet me in Trinity College, in the library, by the Book of Kells. I'll have a poem ready for you.
The most serious place in the world.
Most serious place, most serious book. Supposedly the Book of Kells, if there's a fire, that book just drops into like a safe.
Fuck.
So maybe you'll need this poem to drop into a safe. I don't know, in case if you're ever stuck in a prisoner of war camp and you need a poem to read, perhaps you could read this one from the Agony Aunt.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? Straight from the Trinity. She's a scholar. Do you know? She's straight from the Trinity Library. This poem she handed to me on a scroll.
Fucking hell.
It's called The Imposter.
The Imposter.
I've written some words and don't know how I feel. With these introspective perspectives, I'm not sure if I'm the real deal, see. I'm worried my emotions carry notions with every lyric I write. And in spite of everything I have penned, I can't seem to end up feeling honest. Like I'm lying to myself. Should I put these pages on a shelf and just forget them? Let those scribbles gather dust and allow them to rust without ever sharing them, even though I've put attention and care into them. But that's the life of an imposter who struggled to smuggle themselves onto life's creative roster. Maybe I'm wrong. Perhaps these lines hold meaning and depth that is strong enough to allow myself and others to carry on. How will I know? I suppose with pen in hand, out of the blue and into the black I shall go.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that.
Look, I feel like I feel so fixed and so healthy now after listening to all them. That was wonderful. That was.
Yeah, I feel good that I don't have any of the problems that they're having either.
Well, look, even if I did, I know the Agony Aunt is lingering in the ether.
Yeah.
Ready to solve any problem.
And, you know, we're going to lock the Agony Aunt away until we give her another note.
She's gone on holiday.
She's off.
She's off on holiday.
But by the time you lot get in touch, we'll grab her back.
We'll get her back. She's back from Termalinos.
Termalinos.
It's going to be tropic.
Well, listen, we're going into the autumnal summers now, so
Oh, well, look.
it's holiday season's over. It's problem season,
Problem season.
not cuffing season.
You have any winter blues or autumnal problems? We can solve it through the Agony Aunt.
Yeah. So, email is
Poach
thepoachdead.
ThePoachDeadPodcast@gmail.com.
Good man. And there's again a link in the link tree. It's the anonymous link. Send it in, and we'll turn your problem into art.
Exactly.
Because that's what we do, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll fucking make it. We'll get that creative juices going
Yeah.
and fix Anne through the Agony Aunt.
Yeah, can't wait to hear
She's
from
some
you.
woman.
Leon, thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure, never a chore, my baby.
See you a lot later in the DMs with your problems.
Slide into those DMs.
Do. See you later.